Welcome to Hero Villains. What do you think about The Thing versus Damage? Two beings with bodies of stone and extraordinary destructive power, both of whom have once stood among the ranks of heroes, in a battle between two fates, two hearts carrying deep pain within them. On one side is the rocky member of the Fantastic Four, a man with a heart of gold hidden beneath a rough, orange stone exterior, who has punched Dr. Doom in the face, battled Hulk in legendary fights, and serves as the soul of one of the greatest superhero teams, Benjamin Grimm, The Thing. On the other side, Destructive Machine, a creature created through the experiments of a secret organization, carrying the power of a nuclear explosion within him, possessing terrifying physical strength and a damaged mind no less troubled than that of his opponent, Damage. Man of Stone faces off against Atomic Monster, when the power of stone and fire collides with the power of nuclear energy. Who will be the last one standing?
Benjamin Jacob Grimm, better known as The Thing, is one of the founding members of the Fantastic Four. Ben's origin is tied to a cosmic accident that changed his life forever. Ben was the pilot of a test flight into space, accompanied by his best friend Reed Richards, Reed's fiancée Sue Storm, and Sue's younger brother Johnny Storm. When their spacecraft was bombarded by cosmic radiation that Reed had not fully accounted for, all four of them were transformed. Ben's body became a mass of living stone, with rough orange skin resembling chunks of granite, deep blue eyes hidden beneath heavy brows, and a massive body weighing more than half a ton. This transformation not only changed his appearance, but also completely destroyed the normal life Ben had once known. He lost the woman he loved, lost the ability to live as an ordinary human being, and had to face the fear and rejection of society. However, The Thing is not merely the rocky shell on the outside, but the heart of gold within. Despite having the appearance of a monster, Ben retained the nature of a tough, loyal, and deeply compassionate Brooklyn man. He is the emotional backbone of the Fantastic Four, the one who always steps forward to protect the weak, and the one willing to sacrifice himself without hesitation. The Thing is one of the warriors whose strength is often ranked below Juggernaut, Hulk, Sentry, and other characters in the same tier. His most prominent ability lies in his extraordinary muscular strength, combined with his incredibly durable orange stone body. When he first appeared, The Thing was rated at only level 5 inches the power ranking system. However, after years of fighting and undergoing intense training, his abilities continued to improve, eventually reaching level 85, with some assessments placing him at level 100. The Thing's feats show that his actual strength far exceeds the numbers on the rankings. He has stopped a massive alien spacecraft from leaving Earth through sheer physical strength. He has also lifted an oil rig and held a multi-story building weighing approximately 30,000 tons from collapsing, before returning the entire structure to its original position. In another situation, The Thing was able to hold the main cables of a bridge for an extended period, enduring a load of around 10,000 tons while still maintaining control. His ability to withstand immense forces was further demonstrated when he overpowered a pile-driving mechanism described as powerful enough to pierce through a planet. When fighting underwater, The Thing was even able to directly confront Namor, a warrior with tremendous physical strength who was especially dangerous in an ocean environment. At one point, The Thing even gained the upper hand thanks to his durability and relentless physical strength. More remarkably, The Thing has repeatedly proven that he can injure versions of Hulk who are stronger than him. Even when considered inferior in overall strength, he has delivered blows powerful enough to knock back a charging Savage Hulk, causing his opponent to stagger and lose his footing during the fight. The Thing has also made Green Scar bleed, despite this version possessing a power base far beyond that of the ordinary Savage Hulk. He has even been able to knock out Immortal Hulk, one of the most terrifying incarnations of Hulk. The Thing has always been regarded as one of Hulk's greatest longtime adversary. He does not usually possess strength equal to Hulk when facing him directly, but the gap between them has never been large enough to turn the battle into a one-sided domination. The Thing possesses enough strength, durability, fighting spirit, and combat experience to stand his ground against opponents whose power levels are far greater. The Thing possesses enough physical strength to perform a technique commonly associated with Hulk, known as the thunderclap. By forcefully clapping his hands together, he creates a powerful shockwave that spreads through the surrounding space, powerful enough to stun and disrupt the combat abilities of formidable opponents such as Magneto. The Thing once knocked out a T-Rex with a single direct punch to the head. He can also easily lift a pyramid made of steel and glass, weighing approximately 150 tons, without showing any indication that he needed to use his full strength. The Thing's ability to control his strength was also demonstrated when he briefly restrained Luke Cage, despite Luke Cage's body possessing extraordinary durability and resistance to damage. More notably, the Thing can directly confront Namor in fierce battles. His punches are powerful enough to make Namor bleed, while every collision between the two creates violent shockwaves. The Thing also came close to defeating Wundar, an opponent possessing considerable strength. In one particularly dangerous situation, he even carried a bomb deep inside Ego, the living planet, and brought it all the way to the planet's brain. This feat demonstrates that the Thing's strength is accompanied by the ability to endure extremely harsh environments. In his confrontation with Red Hulk, the Thing once again proved his mettle by continuously delivering powerful punches throughout the brawl. Although Red Hulk possessed superior strength and ferocious combat abilities, the Thing was still able to maintain the fight through his endurance, physical toughness, and remarkable ability to withstand punishment. Ben Grimm has faced some of the most powerful enemies in the universe, from Doctor Doom to Beyonder, the omnipotent entity behind this event. Although his power was only a tiny fraction of Beyonder's, Ben still fought with everything he had, protecting his teammates and never backing down. Ben has also faced cosmic-level threats such as Annihilus, Terrax, the Tamer, and even Galactus. In these battles, he often served as the physical front line, using his stone body to shield his teammates and create opportunities for counterattack. Although he does not possess the ability to fly or manipulate energy like the other members of the Fantastic Four, Ben always finds a way to contribute to the team's overall victory, through strength, courage, and a heart that never gives up. However, the Thing is not without weaknesses. His greatest weakness lies in his speed and agility. Compared to warriors with super speed, Ben is significantly slower, and his heavy body makes it difficult for him to evade fast attacks. He also cannot fly, manipulate energy from a distance, or use any supernatural abilities beyond his physical strength and durability. This makes him vulnerable to being overwhelmed by enemies capable of attacking from a distance or moving at extremely high speeds. In addition, Ben's psychological weaknesses are also very clear. He constantly carries the pain of having a monstrous appearance, being unable to live a normal life, and having relationships destroyed by his transformation. Moments of insecurity and despair can sometimes cause him to lose focus in battle, giving his enemies an opportunity to exploit those weaknesses.
I really hope you will subscribe to the channel. It would help us tremendously, and you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Now, let us move on to damage. Ethan Avery is a United States Army soldier, a warrior who volunteered to participate in a secret experimental program designed to create a super soldier with power comparable to superhuman entities. This program, known as Project Damage, transformed Ethan's body at the molecular level, turning him into a destructive machine with physical strength far beyond human limits. However, unlike Captain America or other super soldiers, Ethan's transformation came with a terrible price. Each time he transforms, he becomes a gigantic creature with ever-increasing strength, but at the same time, he gradually loses control of his rational mind. The monster inside Ethan always wants to destroy everything. Although he shares many similarities with Hulk in terms of physical strength, Damage possesses a far more violent and terrifying nature. The power within him has a dark, almost hellish quality, making every outburst feel intense and extremely difficult to control. This very source of energy transforms Damage into one of the most formidable fighting machines. Damage has proven that he can overpower Wonder Woman, one of the strongest physical warriors, and he has also demonstrated enough strength to directly confront Superman. This is particularly noteworthy because very few characters can stand on equal ground with Big Blue when it comes to raw physical power. Damage's battles show that he possesses tremendous striking power, lifting strength, and the ability to overwhelm opponents on an extremely high level. The true limits of Damage have yet to be fully determined. However, the feats he has demonstrated are enough to place him among the characters with the highest levels of physical strength. During the 1 hour that Damage's abilities remain active, he can go up against some of the strongest members of the Justice League, including Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Green Lanterns. What is particularly remarkable is that he not only survives against these opponents, but is also capable of creating an even fight. In Damage Issue 2, his power was demonstrated even more clearly when Amanda Waller deployed the Suicide Squad to eliminate Ethan Avery in his damaged form. The team sent after him included Parasite, Giganta, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Solomon Grundy, and Akondo. Yet, Damage defeated the entire team in roughly 3 minutes. His overwhelming speed and power quickly left these already dangerous warriors unable to organize an effective strategy to contain him. In particular, Parasite attempted to absorb energy from Damage, but instead of gaining his power, he was overloaded by that energy. This shows that Damage's power is not simply energy that can be absorbed through conventional means. The source of power within him is so intense that even the body of an energy-absorbing specialist like Parasite could not control it. When his immense physical strength is combined with this mysterious source of energy and his savage fighting nature, Damage becomes an especially dangerous threat to any team of superheroes. He can stand against some of the Justice League's most powerful names, crush multiple opponents in a short period of time, and apply enough pressure to force high-level warriors to take every moment of the battle seriously. Damage was also able to hold his own against Wonder Woman for an extended period of time until his time limit expired and he reverted back to Ethan Avery, Damage issue #3. He was also able to escape Wonder Woman's lasso, something Diana said was impossible. Damage also easily defeated a group of Justice League members, including Guy Gardner, The Flash, Barry Allen, Green Arrow, and Vixen. The Justice League could not defeat him, so they had to call in their ace in the hole, Superman, to fight Damage. Superman and Damage fought on equal terms for about half an hour, and their plan from the beginning was for Deadman to possess Damage and take control of him, while Superman was only there to buy time. Even so, this was still an incredible showing for Damage, as not many heroes could withstand Superman's attacks for 40 minutes and continue fighting on equal terms. Unlike Bruce Banner and Hulk, Ethan Avery does not suffer from multiple personality disorder. Damage is considered a separate manifestation of power existing within Ethan's body, capable of taking control and transforming him into a gigantic warrior. He can fight the Amazon warrior on equal terms for nearly 56 minutes. Damage only leaves the battle when the duration of his transformation is about to end, and his body is preparing to revert to Ethan Avery. Wonder Woman once remarked that Damage hit her harder than any opponent she had ever faced, because Wonder Woman had directly fought forces such as Doomsday, Darkseid, and Superman. Therefore, that statement alone cannot be used to claim that Damage is stronger than all of these characters. Damage also has clear weaknesses. He is fairly susceptible to telepathy and can become a target of possession abilities. This was demonstrated in Damage 2018, issue #6, showing that immense physical strength does not mean immunity to every form of mental attack. In addition, Damage can be harmed by the red and the green, two primal sources of energy connected to fundamental forces within the DC universe. This detail appears in Damage 2018 issue #2 and shows that although Damage's body possesses extremely high durability, it is not completely immune to specialized forms of energy. Batman also once had difficulty preparing a strategy to deal with Damage. This shows that the rapid development of Damage's power and his level of danger can make it difficult even for an experienced strategist to accurately predict him. In Damage 2018, issue #3, Damage continued to demonstrate incredible combat abilities, but there is still insufficient evidence to claim that he surpasses Superman in overall strength. In fact, Damage was once able to hold Superman at bay for nearly half an hour, an extremely impressive feat. However, maintaining an even fight against Superman for a certain period of time does not mean that Damage had surpassed Big Blue. His body in Damage form is covered in an extremely dense layer of muscle and biological tissue, allowing him to withstand superhuman level physical and energy attack. He is immune to most conventional weapons, from rifle bullets to anti-tank missiles, and possesses the ability to rapidly recover from injuries. Unlike most warriors whose power remains relatively fixed, the longer Ethan Avery remains in his damaged state, the stronger he becomes. This means that in a prolonged battle, Damage will become increasingly terrifying, and his opponent will have to end the fight quickly before he reaches his peak level of power. He possesses knowledge of military tactics, the use of terrain, and how to exploit an opponent's weaknesses. However, when in his damaged state, his fighting instincts become more primal and brutal. He fights with devastating punches, grappling attacks powerful enough to tear through steel, and roars capable of shaking entire structures. Ethan is often in a state of complete loss of control, turning him into a planet-level threat. His power in this state can rival Darkseid, and he has forced members of the Justice League to work together to restrain him. Aquaman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Martian Manhunter have all faced Damage's destructive power, and each has had to acknowledge that he is one of the most terrifying physical opponents they have ever encountered. However, Damage also has critical weaknesses. His greatest weakness is his lack of control. The longer Ethan remains in his damaged state, the more he loses his rational mind and becomes a monster driven only by destruction. This makes him vulnerable to manipulation by intelligent enemies who can exploit his loss of control, lead him into traps, or make him mistakenly attack his own ally. In addition, in some versions, Ethan has a time limit for each transformation, and when that time expires, he returns to his normal human form, leaving him completely vulnerable. And now, let's move on to the direct comparison and battle analysis. This is a battle between two giants with two different sources of power. Both possess extremely high levels of physical strength, capable of lifting dozens of tons and smashing through solid structures. However, the Thing has the advantage in durability. His stone body has been hardened through decades of combat and can withstand attacks from Hulk, one of the most powerful beings in the universe. Damage possesses tremendous durability, but not to the same extent as the Thing, and his regenerative abilities are also more limited. If this were purely a test of hand-to-hand strength, the Thing would have the advantage thanks to his incredible endurance and ability to withstand punishment. Damage's most powerful weapon is his nuclear energy. These energy blasts can injure even the Thing, who has excellent resistance to extreme heat and energy attacks. However, the Thing has endured energy attacks from Silver Surfer, Doctor Doom, and numerous other cosmic entities. Damage's nuclear energy is extremely dangerous, but it is not something the Thing has never faced before. The Thing can withstand these energy blasts for a period of time, and he will attempt to close the distance and eliminate Damage's ranged advantage. However, the Thing is a seasoned warrior with more than 60 years of experience fighting countless enemies. He knows how to control his anger and how to use his strength as effectively as possible. He's a master of hand-to-hand combat. Damage, on the other hand, is an inexperienced warrior who cannot fully control his own power. He fights through instinct and rage, making him more vulnerable to his opponent's traps. The Thing would quickly recognize Damage's lack of experience and exploit it. The battle. The fight begins. Driven by rage and his destructive instincts, Damage immediately attacks with a blast of nuclear energy. The Thing, relying on his battle-hardened reflexes, raises his two stone arms to block the attack. The nuclear energy burns and cracks the rocky exterior of his body, but it cannot bring him down. The Thing pushes through the pain, roars, "It's clobberin' time!" and charges forward. Damage continues firing blasts of energy, but the Thing keeps advancing, using his strength and experience to evade the most dangerous attack. Once he closes the distance, the Thing unleashes sledgehammer-like punches against Damage's body. These punches, forged through countless battles, inflict real damage on Damage. He targets Damage's head and torso, areas where he can cause disorientation and disrupt his ability to unleash energy. Overwhelmed by the Thing's strength and experience, Damage becomes increasingly furious and loses control. He begins releasing energy wildly, causing explosions all around them. The Thing takes advantage of the chaos to close the distance even further and eventually delivers a devastating punch directly to Damage's jaw, knocking him down. The battle ends when the Thing, through sheer indomitable will, withstands Damage's nuclear power and overwhelms his opponent through pure physical strength. Exhausted and defeated, Damage gradually reverts to his human form, unconscious on the ground. This is a victory for the Thing, but it is by no means an easy one. Damage is a dangerous opponent whose nuclear power can injure even the most durable being. However, the Thing has proven that extraordinary physical strength, combined with decades of combat experience and an unbreakable will, can overcome even the destructive power of atomic energy. Furthermore, the Thing has endured attacks from Hulk, a being whose destructive power far exceeds that of Damage.
And that concludes our analysis of the battle between the Rocky Member and the Atomic Destruction Machine. Let us know what you think by leaving a comment below. Are you siding with the golden heart of the Fantastic Four or the atomic power? If you enjoy epic matchups where the most powerful destructive machines from different universes face each other, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the next multiversal battles. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much.